Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a good day today.
Do you feel anything, emotions, years after about how special your team was?
Well, yeah, looking back, how hard it is to win, and then to win back to back. Of course, the team tonight was the first one. Yeah, 42 years, a long time. So that was a special time to win a cup for sure.
As you watch teams win it now and over the years, every team has a different characteristic and personality to it. Your team that year certainly had its own. Do you try to compare, or do you kind of look and see how special your group was?
No, I mean, you look at the players that are in the Hall of Fame. That's not everything. I mean, some players that just missed, but I don't know how many there was, 9 or 10 or something. And obviously, having that many on a team is just hard. You wouldn't be able to do it again. That's for sure.
Scott, just talk about that '97 team. What do you stands out the most when you think back to that team?
Well, as everyone knows, that era when we were was Colorado and our team were both terrific teams, and they would beat us and we would have to beat them. Usually, if you beat each other, you could win. You get a pretty good chance of winning the cup. And I think the '95 loss was a tough loss because that was 40 years, and then to get in the finals, I guess, possibly for only the second time of the franchise since they won all their cups, and that was a tough loss because we lost 4 straight, and I'm pretty sure we were the favorites. But yeah, the '97 team. I mean, when we ended up playing, I think we played Philadelphia, the Flyers, and they beat the Rangers. They had they were I wouldn't know if they were the favorites, but they were a really good team too, and looking back at our team, we lost, we lost in '95, but in '97, I think when you look at the players we had on that team, we had pretty well everything you need.
You say there was a lot of heartbreak on route to '97. What do you think put that team over the top?
Well, obviously, it's not exactly like today, the NHL, but I think the fact that we got Mike Vernon, approved. He was the goalie, and we had not that it was tough on young goalies coming in, and it's still tough now. And I think the NHL it's a lot like the NFL. The NFL is a quarterback league. You see it every time a team gets going and they lose a quarterback or something. And hockey now in the NHL, the way it's played, it's a different game. Goaltending is a huge factor, and goaltending and power play. If you don't have those two components, it's tough now. Even a team like Columbus that just they've only lost 5 games, and they get the best record in the league. But their goaltender's been exceptional, and their power play's around 24%. So I don't know what our record was on the power play, but I'm pretty sure it was, especially with guys like Lidstrom and Steve getting face-offs, Sergei. So we had I guess what we had that it's hard to get today is our center ice was so strong. We could move guys on the wing if we had to. When you think we had Steve was pretty well in his prime then. Sergei, Chris Draper came in and did a great job, and Igor was just a great hockey IQ player that you couldn't duplicate. So I think when you get those kind of players, you can make a good team out of it. Like Nick is probably the best example. He had an awful lot of partners in his career, and even ones that were unknown with other teams would come in. And I wasn't here later on when Brian Rafalski. He was a good player, Brian, but when he got with Nick, he was over the top. And all of Nick's partners. He played a little bit with Laddie before Laddie had his terrible injury and accident, and Chelios not a lot because they're both experienced, but he played with Larry Murphy, who was, he was good in Pittsburgh, and in Toronto he was not what he was like here. They didn't have a Lidstrom to put with him, And you know, not Larry just the best come out of him. You know, he's a good offensive guy. Nick, you know, he had other partners. I think he had. Well, he had Freddie Olesen one year. I think after I left, he had Anders Lilja. He had. I mean,
Dan and
yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe how. When you look back, it's hard to believe how good he was. You know, and that's what teams need today is when you have a goalie and you have a defenseman like that. You see it in the league now. You know, like Chicago's got Duncan Keith, and you know, you look around the guy in Ottawa, some player, Carlson and Doughty. I mean, they can just about make a whole defense, but you need that. It's hard to get that guy because you only usually get him if you're way down, you know, in the standings, or if you got lucky. I think Ottawa didn't draft Carlson in the low. I mean, I don't know, he was about 15th or something.
A lot of great